Hey everybody, Joshua here for the Way of Quiet Light. I wanted to make this video to go over some of the technical aspects that I'm running into that are causing a problem with the Geneva Bible Project. Now, this video is being made ahead of the official launch. It's being made ahead of any fundraising campaigns that I'm going to be putting together probably later today. The first part of this video is going to be more technical than it is linguistic or theological, so please bear with me. For rights reasons, I have to use the version of the Geneva Bible that I have, particularly from 1599, using the original manuscript. That's what I have to do for rights reasons. Now, part of the issue with that is the English is out of date, so I have to change the spelling, I have to update the structure to bring it into a more modern English, so that way people don't have issues reading something that was written in 1599. The problem is that my computer itself, it's more than a decade old. It's an old workstation. So it's not designed for speed. It's not designed for raw horsepower. It's designed for stability. It's designed for, give me a task. I'm going to sit here and perform this task for 20 minutes. And that's what it's designed for. Even though most people would be like, you know, Microsoft Word is not exactly complicated. I would normally agree, but when you're dealing with a document that is 1,219 pages. Yes, 1,219 pages. And it has about, excuse me, it has about 824,000 words in it. That is extremely difficult to deal with something that astronomically large. So what I'm running into is that Word likes fast processing cores, right? Fast, lots of memory, and fast processing cores. My system is not designed for that. My turbo boost, I think it's probably around 3 point something gigahertz. Modern laptops, you know, like what, 4 point something gigahertz, 5 point something gigahertz, you know, on multiple cores. Mine only has 4. You know, you can get laptops these days with 10 cores, 24 cores, and they're multiple like gigahertz. You know, the RAM is so much faster than what I have, like double the clock speed, double the speed, or triple the speed. My system is designed for a slow, steady workload and consistent workflow. And it's excuse me, it's been crashing. I will work on the manuscript, save it, and then it takes 2 to 3 minutes for my system to get back to normal before I can continue editing again. Which is insane. The utilities that I use to scan the documents, to find the spelling errors, to bring out the grammatical mistakes, you know, all of this software that I used to use professionally, when I did work for students at Acadia or other students and stuff like that and other professionals, it's taking so much time. In order to scan the document, like each efficiency upgrade that I make to the file, I went from about 50,000 corrections up to nearly 70,000 corrections. Excuse me. Because of the depth of scan. It's able to fit more in it because it's running out of memory. It's running out of capacity. I think my utility last night when I did the scan, it stopped at around like an hour. Yeah, it was around an hour or so, maybe a little bit longer than an hour it took to scan the document. Normally, I've seen it take maybe a minute at most to scan a document. But when I'm looking at my computer and I'm watching a 20-minute episode, I'm watching a 20-minute long episode of a TV show, and then I look at, oh, it's not done, and I'm like, okay, bam, another 20-minute episode of another TV show, and then I'm like, oh, it's not done yet. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'll go, bam, another 20 minutes. Like, it's still not done yet. That's when I realized that something was wrong, and I realized that the scope of this project was growing, right? How big it was becoming was becoming a real technical issue. So I spoke to a friend of mine, and we're like, well, since we can't edit the file all together, they're like, well, what if you break it apart? So I said, okay, that's actually a really good idea, right? Formatting wise, it's going to cause a problem later on, but once I get the linguistic part fixed, I'll worry about formatting. So we're going to break it apart into the separate books, reorganize it into multiple files. That should solve a lot of the problems. Now, that's the technical aspect of it. I think dividing it up is going to help. It might actually make it worse because then my utilities are going to be able to do a deeper scan to find stuff to correct. So it could end up being, even though it should be a positive for workflow on my computer, it might actually be a net negative because instead of my software having trouble scanning the documents, it'll be able to do a deeper dive into it and a more complete scan. So it may actually come up with a higher number of total corrections that need to be done because it's capable of scanning the document more completely. So we'll have to see. Now, as far as linguistics, what I'm doing is spelling first. The technical issue with the spelling is not really a problem because the utilities that I use, they recognize Old English, and they recognize commonly misspelled words. If I don't know what the appropriate term for the word is, I have colleagues at the local university. I also have access to another database. I have some deep research assistants that are programmed in linguistics that I can use to help me bring the Old English into a more modern setting. So I have the utilities. I'm probably going to hit resource limits with this. So that's one of the reasons for these funding campaigns, is to help me get the licensing for the software, the higher level software, so I'm able to do a more complete job. Because it's one thing to use the software that I would use to look at somebody's like 2,000 word essay or 5,000 word essay. But if I'm processing, 1,000,000 words, that's a lot, right? Like that's massive massive, massive files. Just checking the school, see if the buses are there. They're not yet. So that's massive, massive files. So I've got a couple of authors, people who are actually published authors that I can reach out to and get assistance with this. I have some people who are theologians that I can also reach out and discuss with. I've spoke to some people at some local Christian youth groups that are willing to give some feedback if necessary. So as far as linguistically and theologically, I've got most of that covered. I also have some deep research assistants that are programmed with deep knowledge on Aramaic, Hebrew, Greek, and stuff like that, as far as translations, understanding modern context, understanding ancient contexts, access to several libraries. I've even pulled other digital copies of different biblical scripts, different translations, different versions, so I can make sure that this Geneva Study Bible, the modernization of it first, and then the study portion of it are put together very, very well. So over the past couple of days, I've been gathering resources, realizing the limits of my hardware, realizing the limits of my software. So if you believe in this project and you want to help out, this is the technical update, right? This is this is me talking about where I kind of need to go. Now, there are questions that I don't have answers to yet. There is a formula on Amazon that will tell me how many, what the cost could be based on how many pages are going to be in the book. How many pages are going to be in this new Bible. Based on that, will determine kind of a printing cost. Now, what I'm willing to do is, if somebody wants to donate money, what I would do is, if you donate 50% more than the cost of an actual copy of the book itself at wholesale. So my cost, what I'll do is I'll figure out what my cost is, and I'll round up, of course. And then if somebody makes a donation within that bracket, their donation will also entitle them maybe to a copy of the study Bible as well. So I'm going to do some stuff like that for people that help out with larger donations. And and if you're watching this, you're like, what? I saw the campaign video, I saw the launch video, it spoke to me, I really want to help out. There's direct donations that methods that will be available. There will be through any of the campaigns if you guys want to contribute. If you want a copy once it's done, if you want to purchase a copy, send me your contact information. I can get an individual signed copy out to you. I'm willing to work with people to get this project done. As far as how big it's going to be, when I'm going to be able to release it kind of thing, I don't know yet. Those will probably be in the next technical video once I get more of a timeline to understand the total scope of this project. So once I actually have the scope, I will let you guys know. I will do my best to kind of have it figured out. But like I said, if you guys want to donate, I appreciate any donation that you want to this project. I don't want to get overly emotional, but this is basically a dad creating his legacy for his children. And it's also a way for me to give back to, what I've been working on. It's a way for me to say, hey, if you're a believer and you're looking for a no-nonsense way to follow the path of Christ, then here's what I'm offering. Here's what's available. Let's walk this path together. I think it is well worth it. And if you believe, if you believe in Christ and you believe in what he taught, then let's do this. Let's make sure this happens. Let's make sure that this new edition of the Geneva Bible gets released. Let's make sure that it is done properly. Let's make sure that the study Bible takes the framework that I've designed for the Way of Quiet Light and turns it into an absolute beautiful manuscript. That's my goal. So, yeah, that's the update. Like I said, if you want to contribute, please contribute, and I look forward to the release. Thank you for watching.